about what he wanted out of the new staff, some of the guys that he brought in. Obviously, he came in a little bit later than some of the other guys, but can you talk about just what he was kind of looking for out of that staff?
He was looking for someone in the secondary room, especially, to kind of corral the guys together, bring them together. It was a group that was very talented in the past couple of years, but not always bonded. And we decided to keep everybody in the same room and have a lead coach. And that's how I've been doing it for years. And so that's what he wanted. And I told him, I think that's the best way for right now. Now that we do it, we still do it that way majority of the time. But Coach Jay, who should be up here with me as well, plays an intricate role with the secondary as well. So he just wanted to bring those guys together, bond together, work harder, be more accountable. And that's what I'm about. I want the guys to understand that it's not just about football. It's a great opportunity on Monday. And hopefully we continue to do what we've been doing and make history. And become legends, but I want them to be legends off the field. I want them to take their butts to class, right? I'm gonna make sure they go to school. I'm gonna make sure that they're gentlemen around women and children, and they just respect the game, respect why they're here. And everybody doesn't get this opportunity. We affect more people than preachers and teachers, so it comes with a great responsibility. So we had that talk. Coach and I had talked for about 2 or 3 years, really, to be honest with you. And he sensed that with my personality, and he was excited about bringing it all together, and that's how we kicked it off.
How much is staff chemistry play into success, and especially that you guys play a lot of complementary?
It's the number one thing. I love being around our staff. Love everybody on the staff. Jesse does a great job. He's extremely organized. Everybody has ideas. We bring it together, bring it to the table. We like this. We don't like this. We move forward. We adjust during the game. Everybody takes responsibility of their position group, get them to practice and play the way we want them to play. And the chemistry is unbelievable. And best staff I've been on, extremely enjoyable. You see where we are, so it's paying off.
Ron talked about, the offensive staff, very close to some staff, any kind of separation between each of the coaches. Can you talk about just that, the kind of the collegiality amongst each of the assistants?
Yeah, we all kind of bond. Sharon does a thing where he brings cookies around on Thursdays, and I try not to eat them, even though I gain a little weight, but I smell them. I get excited. Like, we all have our role. We all, we get together in the morning. Jesse's working out, guys are working out before we even start anything, and just talk about family. Talk about recruiting. Different things. Then we get on the football, and what happens on the field. Things that we don't like, we get them corrected, and that's it. We don't harbor on them. We don't point fingers. There's no backstabbing. There's no whispering. Everything's on the table, and that starts with our head coach, because he brings everything to the forefront, and we all discuss it.
Jim has empowered a lot of those guys.
Yeah, he's empowered all of us. He's developed us, during the spring game, giving everybody opportunity to be head coaches and coordinators and everything. So he's definitely tried to build this team to where if he's not there, we're fine, just like you saw this year.
Steve, Heather Dinich with ESPN.
Hey, Heather.
What have the conversations been like on the recruiting trail with parents as far as answering questions about the future of the program, whether Jim's going to come back, whether there are NCAA sanctions? How have you handled that when we're talking to parents?
Yeah, the parent, you get that asked that question quite a bit, and we don't know what's going to happen, and I'm just honest with them. We don't know. I believe the way our organization is designed, that we'll be fine, whatever the outcome may be. I tell parents all the time, my son is coming to play there. He's going to be a walk-on. This is a great opportunity for him, but if I wasn't here tomorrow, I would want my son to be around men at Michigan. The organization, the AD, the president, everybody athletically, academically, they do a great job of developing young men and young people. So it's still a great opportunity, whether coach is there or not. So.
Everyone talks about how special it is, obviously, to win a national title, but is there something more magical to this Michigan season as a Penn State student, Ohio State, things that you guys had to go through to be able to punctuate it and say, hey, we still did this?
Yeah, I like to say we're all excited and stuff, but this is the game we've been preparing for. We left last season saying this is where we want to be. All those other games in between, those were stepping stones, but this is where we want to be. And we're here, and now we got to execute and do our job, and and manage the moment. Don't take it in too much, like hey, get overwhelmed, and understand we got to go out there and execute against the best team we're going to face all year. Thank you.
Hi, Coach. Maria Malcolm, Philadelphia Inquirer. Just kind of circling back to when you were talking about all those things you were looking for in recruits and future Wolverines. What does Keon Sabb in particular? What did he kind of bring to the table, and how has he grown in his 2 years?
Oh, Keon, recruiting him initially, you saw a very athletic young man, got a great frame, the things you look for physically. But as you start to talk to him, you realize he's a very intellectual guy. He takes a lot of pride in relationships. I'm also a relationship guy, and, which has helped us grow together since he's been here. And I felt that just recruiting him and talking to him that he was a great fit. He valued academics, he valued family, he valued the culture, and he valued being at the best football program in the country. So, it was a great fit for us, in his character. Watching him around his little brothers, he's a great big brother. Watching him around his dad. His dad's a big influencer back where they're from. And just seeing him continue to grow. And you see, he'll be continuing to play more and more, and excited about Keon.
Funny that you mentioned his brothers. He did a lot too. Do you see him almost being like a big brother, even though he's still a younger guy?
Yeah, I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter your age, your year, anything. If you're a leader, if that's who you are, be you. And Keon is definitely someone who gets people to follow him, because he's a brother. He's a big brother, little brother, but he brings everybody together. So he does a great job with that. But yeah, I can see. I've always seen him with that leadership role, and I'm excited about him.
One last thing. How has he handled kind of that transition from being like a star, like guy on the field for every down, to more like a role player?
Well, they're always on the field. I tell everybody, listen, I got 4 starting safeties, so he's not a role player. If you look at it like that, everybody's a role player. Corners are role players, but no, he's a starter. I expect him to be ready when he's called. If I have to start him in the game, he's going to start. If he rotates in, he rotates. If he doesn't play, he doesn't play. I'm very open, honest. My guys know where they stand. Like I tell people, you may know where you stand. You may not like it, but at least you understand where you're at. And now you know where you can move forward and what you can grow at, and how you can build trust within the organization. And Keon understands his role, and he's been doing a great job, and I'm excited about him.
Steve, what's the advice to the DBs this week, especially at the catch point with Washington, all the back shoulders and those kind of things?
Well, the coaching point, we work on back shoulders all year long, whether people throw them or not. I have a couple techniques I try to teach the guys, not to give anybody any secrets, but, at the end of the day, it's really about their timing. If you don't throw their timing off, they're going to connect that. That's the hardest pass to defend on the outside. Of course, just normal slants and in-breaking routes are hard to defend as well, digs and posts. But when you're focusing on the back shoulder fade, you got to really be disciplined. You got to understand the timing, when they're trying to throw it, where they're throwing it, where's the target, who they like throwing it to, and then finish. Because sometimes that ball is behind them a little bit. Don't panic is the biggest thing. As you watch their film, there's a ton of pass interferences, a ton. And a lot of it's because the ball is back shoulder or underthrown. And so, just don't panic at that timing. And once we get adjusted to that, you may have a couple PIs. Be aggressive, But once you get adjusted to it, then we got to execute when we need to.
I know Bama didn't end up really going vertical too much, but how much did they kind of get you ready for these 3?
Y'all say that, and I watched the film. I don't know if you guys watched the game, but they went vertical quite a bit. They did. They went vertical. Now, he couldn't get the ball off a lot, and we were over top of him most of the time. And what's the last part of that question? Because that first part always gets me, like they didn't go vertical. They ran double moves. They ran deep shots, I think 3 or 4 times. They ran a couple boots where they have switch verts in the boundary. So they threw the ball, tried to throw it vertical. What we thought we did best last week is the rush started the game. The D-line started. They set the tone. And the defensive backs, we met them. We were all together. We matched one another. The rush matched the coverage matched the rush, and then we forced him to be a passer, which we thought was his critical issue, sitting there trying to dice us. And so when we forced him to do that, then we were able to continue to have some success. But these guys this week, they're going to throw the ball deep. They're going to throw RPOs. They're going to throw screens. They're going to do everything that you've seen, boots, quick game. We just got to do a good job, like I said, a great job. We've got to do a great job of being in the right position and trying to disrupt the ball. If we can get some ball disruption, we'll be, where we need to be. And when they catch the ball or they make big plays, next play. These are great receivers, all three of them. I mean, all three of them are special. They all have their role. They're really good. The quarterback is elite. The tight ends are exceptional athletes and do a lot of different things with the screens and the flat routes and vertical routes. We have to do a good job of making plays, and when we don't, go to the next play. When we get our next opportunity, give our offense the ball back and just work and do what we've been doing all year, the team, offense, defense, and special teams.
I'm not sure how it really compares to other teams' play, but watching you use a lot of pre-snap motion, right? It seems like up until the play clock's up. How does that compare, and like what kind of challenges does that present identifying kind of what they're trying to do?
Well, being a defensive guy, anybody that shifts motions, it creates challenge for communication. We've seen a lot of it all year, though. Whether it's going against our offense or any other opponent. Alabama motioned almost every other play last week. But you're going to get those shifts and motions. They do a lot of different ones. So, you just got to be patient, see what their final formation is, and then execute with the communication first and foremost.
And then with the Dunze specifically, what has kind of stood out about him as you watch him this week?
He catches everything. Like he's very patient. He lets the ball come to him, and he's prime time. When trying to think of the 2-minute game. Wasn't Washington State. Trying to think of the game, but 2 plays back to back to him. He took over the game. Like he took over the game, and like we got to be prepared for. It was Oregon, yeah, maybe, and he was prepared to be the guy. He wants to be the guy, and they all are there. Like Polk, you watch him, he's a firecracker, man. Like every catch, I don't care if it's a screen, I don't care if it's a 2-yard gain. He gets up excited and pumped about being out on that field and catching that ball. So we're going to have to match their energy. We're going to have to match their talent. We're going to match their ability to make plays and do the same. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. I don't want to say up and down, all that stuff. We're going to go out there and do what we've been doing. I'm an aggressive coach. We're going to coach aggressive. We're going to do what we've been doing all year, play violent, and play our style of football.
So much conversation, obviously, about how good Washington's receivers are, but you guys have one of the best secondaries in the country. What do you think is your greatest advantage about trying to cover this group?
I think understanding the game plan, we are very smart players. I think first, we talk about their receivers. I think you guys got to go backwards a little bit. Their offensive line is extremely good. I mean, they do a great job of pass protecting. They move well. The left tackle is one of the best we've seen all year. They do a great job, even in the run game. The receivers do a great job of setting up the run game with the perimeter blocking and cracks and all that stuff. They do just building off of that. And, again, the quarterback, his timing and knowing where to go with the ball is what makes them great. He knows where to go. You see him sometimes, he'll throw the ball, feel pressure, kind of turn his body, won't even see the ball all the way thrown, and it's complete because he knows where their guys are going to be. Their chemistry together is the biggest challenge for us. It's not just going to be one group on that offense. It's going to be the entire offense.
What do you guys think that you plan to do to kind of counteract some of that?
I can't hear you.
What do you plan to kind of do to counteract some of those confusions?
To counteract some of the confusions, well, it's defense. So we talk about defense and football being like a boxing match. You've always got to kind of see what they're throwing, fill them out a little bit, then adjust, then do something, and what they do to adjust, and keep playing chess and not checkers. So we're going to really, at the end of the day, with a short week, play fundamental football. We're going to live on our 4 pillars. We're going to execute our assignments and keep that ball in front of us. That's all you can do. Look at what week this is. Like, we had all this time, practicing and all that stuff. That's great, against their offense. But what do you do best? And what we do best is our 4 pillars, so we're going to go out and execute.
I wanted to go back to Odunze. You mentioned he catches everything. What is the best or hardest aspect of it? Is it him at the catch point? Is it his body control? Is it the way he wiggles? I guess what is it that stands out the most on tape?
I think his just from film, it seems like he's a smart football player. Seems like they know, they see the coverages. He knows what release to take. He knows what, whether to keep the route outside or inside. Him and Penix are just on one accord. And, a lot of that's coaching as well. But I see that, you kind of see that over and over and over, right? You also see, like, I watched last year's film to this year. He looks stronger. It's a little bit bigger. So he wants to be an all-around, complete receiver. So the things you mentioned, he's got great speed. He's got good quickness. He high points and accelerates, gets to the ball. and he wants to be the playmaker. So all that combined, you got to be able to do, a little bit what we did with Marvin. Understand that's who they want to get the ball to, but they also have other guys too as well. That's what Ohio State started to do when they had some success. They started moving the ball to other people. So we just have to be sound, and who's ever covering him, and whatever coverage we call, and execute it. And then, like I said, just do a great job. I'm always big on getting lined up fast, letting them do all the shifts and motions, communicate, and just understand the final position and finish.
I know you guys haven't faced him, you've only seen him on tape, but is he in that class with a guy like Marvin? Is he of that ability in your opinion?
Yeah, he's elite. I think, to be honest with you, for what they do, they're all elite. Again, I watch both Jalen's. Poke is that he gets it going, and when he gets in rhythm, he's a guy who could take a screen, a bubble screen. You see him get outside of people and run down the sideline. Then number 11 is all over the place. Jalen does a great job of getting the ball out of the backfield, getting the ball down the field, and then you got Poke, who's like at the end of the day the big play guy for them. So, just being able to understand what their roles are and match those guys. Just like they're going to watch us and see Mikey plays everything. Will Johnson, we're going to try to match him up with the best guy. Josh is going to be all over the field doing different things, playing corner, nickel, and the safeties. There'll be a constant rotation of those guys. So they're going to watch us too, and match up. And so we got to have great matchups, and we got to win ours.
This Washington receiver room, it might be better than some NFL wide receiver rooms with 3 draft-eligible players. Going up against a team like Ohio State and the weapons that they have, how does that Ohio State matchup kind of prepare you for this Washington matchup and that receiving talent?
Well, I think last week prepares us. Those guys were extremely fast. I think Ohio State, of course. Like I told somebody earlier, even Maryland. I think, it's not always just the receiver. It's the scheme. It's the run game. It's, what helped Ohio State. Their run game was extremely good too. That running back. What people don't understand, he would have at least 1 or 2 plays where he would have 50 or 60-yard touchdown runs in a game. So, eliminating that opportunity for them forced them to continue to throw the ball and try to get to Marvin and other people. So it's not just their receiver group. To make a statement that they're better than some NFL groups, that's a pretty bold statement. Those NFL players are pretty damn good. I'd rather go against these guys than go against the Dolphins right now, okay? But no, they are good. I don't know. But listen, they're very good at what they do. And they wouldn't be here if they weren't the best. You follow me? And we feel that we're the best, and you got the best versus the best out there, offense, defense, and let's roll. So we're excited about it. Over and over get questions about the receivers, and that's great. But I think they do a great job from their coaching staff and being creative with that offense. I think they do a great job getting the players to understand the game plan, and they execute that thing like a well-oiled machine. They're very similar to me, like when I was at Kentucky and we played Alabama, and the quarterback, Matt Jones, when they were there. Their chemistry, their timing, like that thing was rolling, bro. And it's very similar to that.
What stands out to you about the timing, anticipation, and the pocket maneuverability of Michael Penix?
It's really good. He knows pre-snap where he wants to go, and if it's not there, he knows where his second or third option is. And then the thing that everybody forgets about him, he can run. I mean, he runs extremely well. And, so we just got to do a good job of just capturing him, giving him different looks. He's a smart quarterback, and we got to execute our assignments. That's the bottom line.
You've already mentioned it a little bit, talking about Penix. Is there anything you can further elaborate on? What makes Penix so special as a player?
Well, like I just said, I think he does a great job of understanding what defenses are trying to do to attack them. He's an unselfish player. He's going to not force the ball. He knows where to go with the ball. If it's not there, he goes to the second or third option. He also can escape. His escape ability, I think, is elite. And once he's escaping and moving on a run, he's extremely accurate where he throws the ball.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Coach. I have one question for you. Got time for
You got 2 seconds.
what's your favorite hobby?
My favorite fishing. Yeah, I like to fish. That was a terrible question. Nah, you already knew that. All right, go blue.